Hello everyone, welcome to Canary Cast. Like, subscribe and ding the bell if you want to be kept up to date with all the latest videos. I'm joined by Jacob and again, no Joe. But Jacob, how are you?
I'm very well, mate. Yeah, he's told us not to call him lazy, but the evidence is compiling up against him.
He's never here. Thought we'd come to you because there's been some news regarding Norwich superstar Emi Buendia, who looks like he might be edging out that door. What do you reckon, Jacob?
Yeah, it strikes me as he's been suspended, obviously, for the first couple of games of the season. His name's kind of not been in the spotlight as much, and him and his agent have kind of agreed to do an outside of the club interview and try and just get his name back in the market, because he is far too good for the Championship. And yeah, I think putting his name out there is probably wise before the October window shuts.
So Nick Masheter did a interview for the Evening Express alongside the PA. Pretty warts and all interview, really. It's quite there's some bombshells in there.
Yeah, but I think from the outside it was kind of obvious. Like, you look at even the club media, he's not really been involved in the images of like team training and all of that sort of thing. So you can imagine he does want to go. And like you say, you look at the quality and the stats that he produced last season, you could tell that he probably wants to go to the Premier League again. The only thing is, he did say that his heart or his head is here, and he will be 100% ready to go if a move doesn't materialise, which I think shows the respect he has for the club. Because let's be fair, like before obviously he joined Norwich, he was a name that was touted around English clubs, but they didn't want to take the risk on him, and we did, and we're obviously with his talent anyway, but we have moulded him. Daniel Farke's moulded him into a player that is worth, we'll go on Saturday in a minute, but probably around 30 odd million.
We'll see about
Not 5 million, Harvey.
How dare you. So from the first day, I've been happy with the relationship with them, Norwich City. They understand my situation and they know my dream is to be in a Premier League team. I'm still here. I will fight on behalf of the team. But if a very good offer arrives, they are open. We'll decide what's best for everyone. Me and my family have loved the city since we arrived, but I want to play in the best league in the world and would like to stay in a Premier League team. Now, a couple of clubs have been rumoured. Crystal Palace and Aston Villa are rumoured with having a bid in place, but Leeds seem to be the most compelling suitor at the moment.
Leeds are the one I would say he's just a perfect fit. They obviously have Pablo Hernandez on that right-hand side, but Emi's the kind of perfect person to take on that baton there. Bielsa, obviously the Argentinian effect. I would want to work with Bielsa. I think any kind of football advocate or lover of the game would love to. Is just the way he plays, the way Argentinian as well, which obviously Emi's grown up in Argentina, knows again even more strongly how the philosophy works there, and it's just the perfect fit, really, isn't it? But it depends. I think they are interested. I just don't think they're happy with the price tag Norwich are putting on Emi. But I wouldn't let Norwich budge, to be honest. He is by far our best player. And if he stays, for me, he is the best player in the Championship and probably gets us promoted, even if he's at 80%.
Yeah. And he sort of issued a come and get me plea with, I see the clubs are interested in me. I love to hear that because it means Premier League teams want me in their team. I'm happy with that, and I'm happy to feel the pressure and to feel important. I've played here for 2 years and I feel like an experienced player in the team. I feel important because my teammates give me that feeling. My only issue with that is that he would be going into pretty much the exact same role in the exact same stature of club as Leeds, and obviously Leeds fans won't want to hear that, but they are a newly promoted side, and I don't know if Emi Buendia, he creates a lot of chances, 29 chances created in a single month, which is a record.
Yeah, it was a record, yeah.
But he would be providing those chances to Bamford. Now, Norwich fans have a good, exciting history with Bamford. Does Buendia deserve a better class of striker to deliver to?
For me, it's probably biased, but then I've watched him every week for the last 2 years. I would say he walks into bar 2 every single club in the Premier League.
Arsenal. That was always my impression of where he would go. But it looks like he's sort of attracting sort of mid-table to low table club interest, which is, I think, unfair for him because I think he is an utterly class player.
Yeah, I think the only thing is obviously when we started the podcast, it was kind of around that time, almost a year ago, that he was kind of in and out of the side. Daniel Farke was kind of criticising him about his end product. And there is a slight element to his game where obviously the Argentinian fire, passion, he does kind of sometimes throw the arms up in the air. He does have that aggressive side to him. Obviously 2 red cards. The QPR one was a red card probably a couple of years ago. I'm not as sure about the one at home to Burnley, but that is still up for contention. I think it's a lot of money for obviously a player who has gone down into being relegated bottom by quite a distance. But if anyone watching him, any scout could easily say, yes, in a better team, and he would create numerous amount of chances, he would walk into most teams, in my opinion, still.
He is a very, very exciting player and former Real Madrid youth product as well. So he has the pedigree of, a Galacticos. But it's interesting that there hasn't been any bids in yet, bearing in mind he did have that hype. Do you actually see him going? He's obviously issued this plea to, leave. But so far as the window has been open a while, and he hasn't really attracted the interest that perhaps the board have thought he would have attracted. What do you reckon?
No, I think he's spot on, and that's probably why the interview's been made, hasn't it? So there is a bit more interest in his name. Like, you'll look at Twitter, you'll type in hashtag NCFC, he'll be on there. So, and another, obviously that's not how clubs look, but it's good to get him out there, and clubs will see it and go, maybe he is interested in moving. Can we put in a lower bid? I think there are clubs interested, but Stuart Webber has shown with Jamal Lewis, for example, Max Aarons, all of them, that Norwich have a price and they will not go under that price. And I think Emi is the crown out of all of the 5 that were there at the start of this season, and he is the one that they want the most money for.
I remember speaking with Michael Bailey, our first interview with him, and he said that Webber wanted him to be Norwich's first £50 million player. Now, £50 million, that's 10 times what I valued him at. So, how much do you, if he does go, let's say, to any of the Premier League clubs, how much do you reckon you will genuinely go for?
Well, it's quite interesting. We put a poll up, or put a poll up a little bit earlier, about an hour ago now, suggesting would we take 30 million, and there was about 60% saying yes, and that's over almost 200 votes now. So that's quite a lot of people saying they would be happy. In terms of the club themselves, they're not obviously going to get 50 million, but you look at maybe Saeed Benrahma, how much did Brentford get rid of someone for a similar quality of player, obviously not playing in the Premier League? I would be, honestly, considering we've got 25 million for James Maddison when we were struggling in the Championship after 1 year, I'd be absolutely amazed if it was under 30 million. I'd say, but then you look at the market, in my mind, 40 million is a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, 23 years old, 4 years left on his deal, up there in the top 5 of most chances created in Europe last season for a team who finished bottom. It's a snippet for anyone who buys him in the long run.
I've heard Liverpool are rumoured with a bid for £6 million. What do you reckon to that?
Yeah, we have to accept, because their club is massive and it's a big step up.
Yeah. And they won't be held to ransom by little greedy clubs like Norwich City. Anyway, in other news, he also said about Norwich's future as well, and I think that's quite important to say. They got promoted as champions, and it was a really good year for me, Buendia, and the club. Last year was an exciting time to be in the Premier League. It was one of my dreams. It's the best league in the world. Personally, I felt good. I had a lot of games, sometimes good, sometimes not very good, and we'll all attest to that. But he felt okay. He had a good start, good stats and good numbers, and then went on to say, we were champions in 2019 when no one thought we would. This year the pressure's on, and it's good to feel that. Everyone thinks we can do it. We have to do it, and we have to fight. This club deserves to be in the Premier League. So is that leaving open the opportunity for him to say, I want to be in the Premier League, so that's why I'm staying with Norwich?
I think it's a good shout, that. I'd say he's kept it very balanced in terms of, you can't hate on him for saying, I want to leave, I'm gone, I'm not interested. Because like I say, he remembers where where he was from before Norwich. I think he knows he's good enough to be Premier League level now. I think he also knows that Stuart Webber will not budge on the budget or the transfer amount we want. I'd say if he'd scored more than 1 goal in 36 games in the Premier League, he would be 5-6 goals. He would be gone, I would say. But I think there is a chance. If he stays, Norwich go up. Simple as that for me. And 80% Emi Buendia is by far the best player in the Championship. And he is far too good a level. I know you could perhaps say that we're maybe stalling his career because he does deserve to be at that top level now. But if someone doesn't pay the price, why should they get him for a snippet? I don't see why. It's like I said earlier, 4-year deal. So there's no pressure on Norwich to sell. If he stays, it will be a very good season, I think, for Norwich.
In a world where Joe Linton costs £40 million, surely Emiliano Buendia costs around the same. So
great point.
Time will tell. Obviously, here at Canary Cast, we want him to stay. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Buendia's future in the comments below. And share with your friends, because I think this is a really interesting time for Norwich. And if they can make some money or keep a really good player, then perfect stuff. Anything to add before we leave, Jacob?
No, spot on, mate. I think we'll do a Preston preview very shortly. That might be without me, but we'll wait and see if it's Harvey and Joe. The one time. But we'll wait and see. That'll be up in a couple of days. But let us know what you think about Buendia, what you like about him, if you think 30 million is enough, what you would let him go for. But thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon.
See you later.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the last video. Before you go, Canary Cast has teamed up with FansBet. It's a bookmakers made by the fans for the fans. We're able to offer you, our viewers, a welcome offer whereby FanBet will boost your deposit by 50% up to the value of £100. To utilise this offer, use the Canary Cast sign-up code or click the link in the description below. See you next time.